Travis went good, so as the debate over the brand new Utah state flag rages, as people are now claiming, and somewhat accurately, but in part, that the star corresponds with the Babylonian goddess. There's more, guys. There's more. So let's do a full symbol interpretation of the new Utah flag, despite what they've told us it symbolizes. I got the other video that has 8 minutes left. Let's should have brought up the flag first. Touch of evil. Song in the description, guys. Are you not watching those? I did one the other day that was not a song, and I told you in the video following that there was a video link to not a song. It's hilarious, and if you miss it, okay. Yeah, the DesNat flag was patterned after this, as the 2021 commemorative one was also, as the DesNat flag has the Confederate cross with the blood and soil at the bottom. And so likewise, the overall general makeup, you have the blood and soil at the bottom. Now if you're like, what's blood and soil? I don't understand. Nazi Germany, guys. It's a symbol of Nazi Germany. Blut und Boden. Blood and soil. It's a nationalist slogan expressing Nazi Germany's ideal of a racially defined national body. Blood. United with a settlement area. Soil. So remember, I'm telling you that they're replacing Joseph Smith's Zion with the Utah Valley here, Salt Lake City. So the blood and soil. The blood of, or the soil of Zion, the blood of the pure master race of Mormons. And of course there's the eagle that's involved with the blood and soil symbolism, and the Nazi swastika. And I told you, Oaks had already got exposed by me, only me, because the next day in conference, he then changed to do this thing down his lower abdomen. Hilarious. Okay, we're down at 5 minutes, although it, oh, there it goes. And so there's the Nazism band at the bottom, blood and soil. The church is not just fascist, but Nazi fascist. The white in the middle, for the mountains of Utah, the pure master white race of Mormonism. And also for Zion, top of the mountains, Zion from Isaiah prophecy, that Hinckley purposely tried to have the conference center before the 2000 conference as part of the fulfillment of the Isaiah prophecy, as he was saying. And others perpetuated for him, like Von J. Featherstone was the most infamous of the spreaders of that. And then the blue on top is for the heaven, God approved nation, a theocratic nation state under the white master race of Mormons, blood and soil. Brigham Young, if you didn't know, would only allow those who were of the blood of the apostles to replace the apostleship. to keep the bloodline, whereas Joseph Smith wanted the initiatories for Mormons to become Christ and thus perpetuate the bloodline for the latter day man like Moses, one mighty and strong Christ of Mormons that he's been referring to, that I've been going over repeatedly, trying to help you understand that we're not Christian, as we'll get into the symbolism of a Christian identity as well. And so you have the hexagram six-pointed. It replaces the Jewish six-pointed star. It's a replacement theory. We're replacing the Jews. Jews will not replace us, so we're going to replace the Jews. The KKK symbolism. And it has the beehive, which, yeah, you can say Freemasonry, because Brigham Young and Heber C. Kimball were a part of the Scottish Rites, their families at least, because Brigham Young didn't have a separate lodge to attend to. And prior to 1826, rules were different. After 1826, the Freemason lodges had to allow more people back in, despite the stigma that was caused in 1826 on 9/11 in Canandaigua, New York, where Joseph Smith Sr. was the Master Mason at the York Rite Lodge rather than Scottish Rites Lodge, as he helped to free William Morgan and took the responsibility of finishing his book. The church will not give us the literal history of the church, because Joseph Smith had to encode it because people were trying to murder them as they were trying to murder William Morgan. And so it's also, the hexagon is a symbol of perfection. And as perfection over the white band of pure white master race of Mormons, you're now realizing what the perfection is that they're talking about. And within the hexagram, it's the math, the geometry. I'm still trying to wake up. I slept for a long time. My body requires that every now and then. If you remember watching me when I was in the other apartment. But it's triangles that are interwoven in perfection within the hexagram. And so again, it's replacing the Jews, as the Star of David is two triangles merged together into the sun star of Emmanuel, the sun god of the Egyptians, which the Israelites adopted under their King David, which was the Egyptian pharaoh of the 18th dynasty, the David-Moses dynasty. And so the hexagon is replacing this. And within the hexagram pattern of triangles, you have the Confederate cross. From the two end points, they cross for the Confederate flag. And then you can do it down horizontally and vertically. Which, if you've seen the movie Black Klansman, they have the flag, Confederate flag, that's up and down, vertical. And so the Cairo of Constantine, that was his claim to fool people into joining his Christian coalition. He said he saw a sign in the heavens of the Cairo. What he said was that he saw the sign date for the signs in the heavens from the Jewish prophetic apocalyptic scripture. And said he saw the sign in the heavens. That's the Cairo. The Chi is the cross for the crossroads over America of the solar eclipses, the first and third days of darkness, as symbolized in prophecy. It's 3 hours in the Gospels. And is the first letter of Christ in Greek. And so Christmas, as Xmas, is perfectly appropriate if you understand Greek. If you don't understand Greek, you get people offended. And then you have in the line vertical with the triangle sticking out, you have the flag, the row. That is the Egyptian symbol of deity, of God. And so the God Christ is what Constantine was setting up there. And he was replacing the Jewish Christ of the latter days during the time of the crossings of the solar eclipses over America. These are the latter days. And Constantine knew this and made that his symbol, because he was going to replace the Jewish Christ. He's replacing the Jews. He was replacing Jewish literature by turning it into literal history as a cover so that people won't look for the latter days and the signs of the latter days, the star dates that are given in all of the apocalyptic literature. And in so doing, his group of Christians were now weaponized against the Jews, because if it's now literal history that a Jew had written, now Christians have a straw man enemy to attack. And this is what the Roman Empire had failed to do. They destroyed the temple in 72 AD, but failed to extinguish the Jews. And so Constantine pulled the stunt in 325 AD with the Council of Nicaea, with the first creed of Christianity, to turn this group of Christians against the Jews. And they've been chasing the Jews around Europe for 1,500 years plus, which culminated in Nazi Germany and still continues to this day, as you're well aware of in the news, with popular celebrities demonstrating their racism. Not just political figures. And so then the Beehive, Freemasonry, but slavery as well, because there's the queen bee with the drone bees. The drone bees all work for the queen bee. And so that's the symbolism of the beehive, is slavery. Although in Freemasonry, it was more of the mound of creation from the beginning. But it has been abused and used for slavery purposes. And then the star below heralds back to Brigham Young's Eagle Gate.
Has there been any cell phones turned in?
Since the last one, yes.
Okay.
The Eagle Gate on State Street. This was carved, formed by Don Carlos Young, the son of Brigham Young, and it's the Ponderosa Gate, the gate entrance to their homeland, their ranch or plantation, and was put up there on State Street, right next to the Lion House and the Beehive House. And so you have the eagle on top, representing the mountains, and then the beehive, as the beehive is here, and then the inverted pentagram of Lucifer that's below that. And Mormons have been in denial of that ever since. So they're trying to claim that they're Christian, not satanic. But in the flag here, they're, instead of using the Venus Lucifer symbol, which comes from Babylon, they're now utilizing the Babylonian Ishtar. Oops, the video was done. No issues found. Yeah, he's not working this morning, is he? So, I don't know, 206. It's actually more than that. There's a rush on that video. So, good. Glad you guys enjoy it. For the most part, yeah. There's 8 likes, 1 dislike. So it's the token disliker who stalks me, who's got nothing better to do with his life. He pretty much is a loser, as he is manifesting with his thumbs down. 232? Are you sure? Because that's what it was 30 minutes ago. Alright, well, whatever. And so, even though the story of Ishtar is in the Bible, the book of Ishtar, where Purim for the Jews was developed, Esther, Ishtar, Easter, likewise comes from Ishtar. It's the pagan holy day, which is now used by Christians. They've replaced and put Jesus, just as the Utah flag is culturally appropriating things and using them as a combined source of evil. And so, yeah, this is her star symbol, not only as the Native Indians' star symbol, which Utah tried to claim, but in so claiming that it's the Utah Indian symbol, they culturally appropriated the natives, of whom they've kicked out of their land because of the drought. And so again, the white band of the pure master race of Mormons, purging unpure human beings of the unpure blood, going back to the Nazi symbolism. And so yes, this is everything of evil thrown into one here. And so yes, the Babylonian goddess. And from Revelation, for the latter days, the great and abominable church is Revelation's, John's Babylonian whore, the female goddess, Ishtar. That's what John is using as Babylon the whore. He's referring to Ishtar. And so for the church, which is the great and abominable church, if you would just merely study the Joseph Smith papers, because you're not listening to me when I present you the bombshell document from Joseph Smith on 19 July 1840 B. There's an A and there's a B. B is the bombshell. B stands for bombshell. And there's a reason why Brigham Young did not want that in his Doctrine and Covenants. It's because he is exposed as Judas, and was caught, through my research, having paid the blood money, the 30 pieces of silver, to have Joseph and Hiram assassinated. So, there is everything tied into here. And so the star represents the foundation. As in the Eagle Gate, the star, the inverted pentagram, is at the base. It is the cornerstone, even though it's the only thing upon which things are built. And likewise, this Ishtar Babylonian star, culturally appropriated from the natives as well, is the foundation for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, who runs the state of Utah, and all evil combined in it. This literally is genius, a criminal genius mastermind was behind this whole development of the flag here. And it should scare everybody. This is not something of happiness that we can just merely turn our frown upside down and smile the truth away. So, yeah, the church is cooing this government. And they're doing it in all different kinds of ways. The vote for the Marriage Freedom Act or whatever, that's where the church wants to be exempt, so that when they get their control of the state of Deseret, nobody that they disapprove of can be in the state of Utah. It will be a crime to be poor. It will be a crime to be an unwed mother. It will be a crime to be LGBTQ. It will be a crime to be any other color than white. Understand this. They will use their token poster people to fool you into thinking they're not, but that in and of itself is their hand that they're showing you. So there you go. There's the full symbol interpretation of the Utah flag.